Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for June of 2021. Most of the action for you this month is happening in the house of the job and also the systems that help life run. And if you find that dramatic events are happening there, we can help you in a mission orders reading. You'll find a link for that in the YouTube description below. Well, the main news of the month is that Juno is retrograde, bringing relationship challenges, to say the least. Also, Mercury is retrograde at the same time, not being helpful. And then we have a solar eclipse, which might bring some drama. Hey, Julia, you want to kick this off with Mercury?
Yep. Well, hey, Capricorn, Mercury is that planet that represents how we communicate and where we expend a lot of our thinking. And Mercury starts the month off retrograde, and this is all happening in your sixth house. This is the house that represents your job. It's also the house that represents your organizational systems in life. So with Mercury retrograde here, you could be running into some miscommunications with the people you work with. You could be rethinking your job. You know, is this the job you want to keep staying in? How do you want to maybe change around your day-to-day conditions where you work? And it can also represent your organizational systems, such as your hard drive or even your basement with all of your sort of deep storage bins. So with Mercury retrograde, it could sort of throw a monkey wrench into your organization, which means that you might have to kind of go back over things that you maybe thought were all straightened out. But on June 22nd, Mercury is going to go direct, and that's going to slowly pull us out of this cycle and make things a lot easier. Then Mars, the planet of action and activity, starts the month in your seventh house of partnership. So during the beginning of this month and also last month too, you may have been running into conflicts with your partner, whether that's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a spouse. And if you don't have a partner, it could be anybody that you have a platonic, deep friendship with, as well as business partners as well. But by June 11th, Mars is going to move out of this house and into your eighth house of other people's money. So the frustrations and the conflicts might be around the money you share with other people. That could include money that you share with people who are closest to you, like a joint credit card or an inheritance, as well as money that you get from institutions like mortgages and loans. So a lot of frustrations on the money front too, by the 11th and onward. Then Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, spends the first day of the month in your sixth house of work, giving a little extra luck, having you get along really nicely with the people that you work with. But by June 2nd, she's going to move into your seventh house. And this is going to feel so nice because you've had Mars in this house for a little while. So Venus is going to kind of swoop in and bring a little extra harmony, a little extra pleasure, a little extra diplomacy in your partnerships too. She'll be in there with Mars for some time, so there might be a little push and pull, but when Mars is out of there by the 11th, it's all smooth sailing with Venus in there in the 7th.
Yep, and isn't that nice? So helpful. And also on the relationship topic, we have that Juno retrograde that's happening in Sagittarius, and it's putting really all of us through a retrospection period where we're rethinking, do my relationships help me grow? Do they have room for me to expand? Are my relationships expanding or are they stagnating? And is my partner in a state of stagnation? And with Juno being in your 12th house, especially if you have been accustomed to thinking of your relationship as a haven, this might really call up some, a period of retrospection and asking yourself the deep questions about your relationship and maybe doing some renegotiating with your partner. Now that Juno is happening opposite the Mercury retrograde that Julia was talking about here in the sixth house of work, health, service, systems, and routines, and personal organization. So, part of those conversations with your partner might be wrapped up in, well, how do we live together in a way that's healthy? What are the systems that make our life together run? And how can we communicate best across those systems, especially when they break down? And all of this is likely to come to a head during the eclipse, which is happening on June 10th, right here in that sixth house. And so if ever there was a time when your systems might break down, this could absolutely be it. It could be dramatic, and just being ready with a warm, kind word to set things right. That's really the approach that's needed here. So then the other moon of this month is a full moon in Capricorn. It's happening on the 24th. Right here in your first house, Capricorn. Now, you might already know this, but the moon doesn't like being in Capricorn. It's not comfortable there. And the moon in Capricorn has a tendency to get kind of whiny about needs, like to be sort of needy but brittle and not willing to accept support. So be careful you don't resemble that when this moon comes and sits right there in your first house. Instead, examine your intuition and let yourself feel, let yourself receive some yummy support. The sun is in Cancer and wants to pour that yummy supportive goodness over to you. And then Jupiter in Pisces is also being super helpful as well. You can find out a lot more about the moons and about Juno retrograde in our June 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology. So that's basically the stuff we have for you. You can find us on the web at pandoraastrology.com. Your horoscopes will be there. The monthly forecast is there. You can find your way to our services page if you want a reading, and there also are classes. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.